Just buy one. Just do one. Just buy one. Just start small. You should be thinking small, not big, when you're getting into this game in the beginning. The value is in the information, the experience you accumulate while going through that process. Welcome to the Multifamily Wealth Podcast. I'm your host, Axel Ragnarsson, and on this show, I dissect how seasoned multifamily investors started, built, and scaled their businesses. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Multifamily Wealth Podcast. Here in this quick solo episode, I want to talk about just the easiest way to just get started. This will be a quick one because it's a very simple message, but I'm constantly asked on Instagram or by people that reach out to me via email, through other platforms, what have you, how to get started. Where do you start? Where do I start? I want to buy multifamily. I want to buy a piece of real estate. Where do I start? The answer is so simple, and I think it's oftentimes just so incredibly convoluted as it relates to where people go and what they focus on, because there is such a significant volume of information available to anyone that's looking to get into this business. You have all kinds of different personalities and individuals on YouTube, on Instagram, that are hosting podcasts, that are guesting on podcasts with dozens of different messages about the strategy, where people should invest geographically, what people should buy, how you should operate your property, self-managed property manager. There's so much talk about should you start small? Should you just jump right to the big stuff? I mean, if I had $1 for every time I heard in a podcast somebody say, if I could start it all over again, I just want to win bigger sooner. And it's like, I think that is true for everyone that has been in the game for a while, because you can't put yourself back in your shoes back at a time when you didn't know what you didn't know, and you know everything now. So of course you would have started bigger because now you have all the knowledge, and it just F's up everything for everyone who's trying to get started, because there's just information overload, strategy overload, and just so much conversation around this. So with all that being said, here's what you should do if you want to get started. Just go buy a fucking property. Just buy one. Just start really small and buy something that is within your ability. And again, so many people want to go straight into 5 plus, 10 plus, 20 plus unit multifamily. Don't. There's no reason to do that unless you have so much money that it doesn't matter if you screw that up. People are trying to figure out how to flip houses. People are trying to figure out how to do that. It's harder to flip houses than it is to buy a multifamily. It's harder to wholesale than it is to buy a small multifamily property. It's harder to do pretty much everything in real estate outside of just buying like a duplex or buying a small condo as a rental, or buying a 3-unit, whatever it is, something small, something manageable. Oh, I want to go buy an Airbnb. That's way harder to do than just buying a duplex or a small building of some kind. Find something that's cheap, where you're not completely intimidated by the amount of money required to buy it, and just buy something. And then everything comes after that. There's no amount of education that will prep you for the first deal. You just make a bet. You buy something that's within your means, financially speaking, and within your means in terms of the knowledge you've accumulated. Buying a property that has 2 units, that doesn't require a massive amount of construction, that you're financing with a local bank or some kind of decent debt of some kind, is a relatively safe way to get into this business. It's a safe proposition. And if you really want to de-risk it for yourself, hire a property manager, which I always suggest, so you just get out of your own way and don't make all the dumb mistakes of hiring the wrong contractor or placing the wrong tenants or what have you. But you have to do that. You have to buy something at some point. And the easiest way, and maybe for you, a duplex is big, right? Maybe that's still out of what you can reasonably buy. Okay, so go buy a 2-bedroom condo, a 1-bedroom condo, or something like that. Buy something that, financially speaking, is so small that it removes all the roadblocks that you're arbitrarily putting in front of you, which are all just fear-based. And I say this a lot on the podcast. It's one of my favorite sayings: competence breeds confidence. So get educated on buying a duplex in your market. What also breeds confidence is just making smaller bets relative to what you're able to do. And I'll take that one step further. What also breeds confidence is buying something to where you're removing all of where you're taking yourself out of your own way. So you work with a local lender that requires you to get an appraisal. All right, that probably helps to mitigate the risk of you overpaying. You buy something with the help of a broker. All right, they should be able to guide you along this path and to help you, right? Not always, but should, theoretically speaking. You hire a property management company to manage it, who's very good at what they do. Okay, so now you're not going to make all of those dumb, stupid property management mistakes. If you're going to manage your construction and you're insisting on that, well, hire a very well vetted, well recommended GC that even if they charge a little bit more, you know they're going to deliver. That is the roadmap. You need to think smaller, not bigger. And it's so counterintuitive, right? And that's typically not advice that people are telling other folks. But like when you're getting into the game in the beginning, stop thinking big. Stop developing these grandiose plans. I want to build this big business. I want to go buy big multifamily. I want to flip a ton of house. That all comes later. You just buy a property, just buy one, and it's just the entire objective here is you just if you break even on the first deal, great. That's a home run. That's a massive win because the value is in the information and the experience you accumulate while going through that process. So I'm hoping, I'm going to be posting this specific episode a little bit earlier in the year because I want this to be a message that people carry into the new year while everyone's setting goals and is all gung-ho about achieving their goals this year. A lot of folks are setting big goals. I was talking to a guy the other day who has yet to buy a property and he wants to buy 15 units this year. And I'm like, dude, just relax, just take a breather. Just buy one, just do one, just buy one, just start small. You should be thinking small, not big when you're getting into this game in the beginning. So hopefully this gives some of the folks out there listening a different roadmap to getting into this business. And ideally it jars something loose mentally that allows you to at least just get into this in a little bit of a lower stress and a lower risk capacity than a lot of the folks that are just frazzled based on all the information that's being downloaded on them every time they open up YouTube or their podcast app or Instagram or whatever. If you took something from this episode, please leave the show a rating and review. Hope everybody had a great New Year's, and I hope everybody has a great start to 2024. We're busy as all hell. And as a reminder to everybody out there, if you're looking to, or if you're considering the idea of passively investing alongside some folks who are a little bit more experienced, we're going to be doing more deals this year than we did last year. We can already tell just based on what we have in our contract right now, this is going to be a busy year for us. So if you want to get on our investor list, and you want to take a look at our investment opportunities when we actually do go out there and raise capital for our deals, head to alignedrep.com/invest. That link will be in the show notes as well. But again, thank you all for listening, and I'll catch you in the next episode.